Hey kids, it's me, Toni Homeperm, the singing diva of Long Island, and today I'm creating a drag look with the SheGlam Wretched Romance palette. Yes, now SheGlam is I don't know if it's a sister company or a subsidiary of Shein. They're one of those online clothing retailers, and they're always you always see them popping up on your Facebook feed and getting emails and all those things. And I was curious to try, uh, some of the makeup. So this is from their subsidiary, sister company, whatever, SheGlam, and it's the Wretched Romance palette. And I saw this around Halloween time. Well, okay, I'm gonna have to be careful with how I hold this up because that one pan came loose. I will have to put a little glue in there to make sure it stays in place. Uh, I'm quite sure that these pans are not supposed to be removable. But here it is. Here is the Wretched Romance palette. As I said, I was curious to try the brand, and it was only $9. And I've seen some other YouTubers review some of the palettes, and they seemed okay. So I said, well, it's only a $9 palette. I mean, what have I got to lose? Nothing really. So I I ordered the palette, and it did come before Halloween, but there was just so much to do for Halloween, and there were so many Halloween palettes this year, and I still have another Halloween palette to review. So uh, so this palette is a little late to the game as far as Halloween, but hey, you know what? For me, when you're a drag queen, every day is Halloween. So this was the palette, and I thought it had a an interesting color story. Anytime there's some really nice purples in a palette, uh, that's like I love purple. So I was like, okay, we're gonna get it. We're gonna try it. Now I did swatch it, so what we'll do is I'll throw the swatches up on the screen so you can see them. Okay, so here are the swatches, and I would love to be able to read you off the names to them, but unfortunately, because of the crazy shape of this palette, I'm not sure as far as the quads or quints, however they have it set up. I'm not really sure where I started and where I stopped, but of course you can see we started with like the gray tones, we went into the purples, and then into those orangey, brick, rusty sort of colors. So the swatches are, they're fairly decent. They're not the greatest in the world, but for a $9 palette, pretty good. I'd say, as far as the swatches go, it's about comparable to Wet n Wild quality. Okay, along with the palette, I also saw they had these Wretched Romance liners, and unfortunately, I forgot about them and I didn't use them in today's look. I do want to tell you though, I had done some swatches with them. I put them on the back of my hand and forgot about them, and even went to sleep with them on. And the next day, they were still on the back of the hand. So I do want to try these out. The formula seems to be pretty good. I don't often use colored liners, but I think it was only $10 for the set, and there's 5 of them. So what is that? $2 a liner. It's pretty cheap. I figured since they were only $2 each, what could it hurt to try them out? So I do still have to try them out in an actual look. Now, I actually have a show to get to today, so I was almost a little hesitant about using the palette because when you know you're doing a show, you want to use products that you know are tried and true, that you can rely on, and I had no idea how this palette was going to be. But this is the look that we came up with. And of course, at the end of the video, I will give you all my thoughts and feelings about the palette itself. But for now, I think we're going to roll the camera back in time, go back to before I started doing the look, and I will show you how I created this drag look today with the Wretched Romance palette from SheGlam. And of course, if these kinds of videos interest you, where I take a palette and I create a drag look with it, well, then you need to click the subscribe button down below. And it's right down there. It's right down there. Just click subscribe. That's all you have to do. Okay, enough of me gabbing and yakking on. Let's just see what we did to get this look today. Okay, and we're back, ready to start our look. I did my base foundation, glued my eyebrows down, did new eyebrows, did them really quick, and for doing them really quick, they came out really symmetrical. Definitely sisters, almost twins. Who would have known? So, we are going to create a quick look today with the Wretched Romance palette by SheGlam. Yeah, the Halloween palettes are they're still hanging around. Still got to use them up. So there it is once again. And I think we're going to be doing a sort of gray-purple look. The orange is not really going to go with the look that we're doing today. That's okay. So I think to start, I'm going to go in with this light gray called Seance. And that's going to go on the inside of the eye. Let's see what happens. Okay, pigmentation isn't bad. I don't think I need to go too far with that because I want to start getting into the purple more. And I think I am going to mix this with some of the purple tone. I'm wearing pink hair today. I have a show at a local rehab facility. I'm doing my ToniHomeperm show where I go in and I entertain the residents, sing the oldie songs that I'm so well known for, and we have a lot of fun. And I'm not going to go too crazy with a makeup look because we just need to make sure that we get this done and get over there and we're on time and all that good stuff. So, okay, we use Seance. Now I'm going to go in with this lighter color called Zest. This is a strange palette. I think it's strange when the palettes have these different sized pans in them. Okay, that's looking okay. Same on this side. I haven't filmed for a few days, which is odd for me because I was on a run where I was just filming, but Saturday I had a really big show and it was really quite exhausting, and afterwards on Sunday I was just so wiped up. I was so wiped out from Saturday, and I didn't want to do anything Sunday, and my allergies were really bad. They were so bad that my one eye, it was tearing so much, it just like, it practically, it got so swollen that it almost shut, and it was very irritated, and I had to keep it closed. I had to put a little cotton pad on it and just hold it over it to keep it shut. It's looking pretty good. Okay, now I think I'm going to go in with this color, Devil in Blue. Let's see what happens with that. Oh, we're having one of those days the tape does not wish to stick down. Gotta love those days. This color is really quite pigmented. I'm quite happy with it. Okay. Creasing, we're creasing. We gotta blend that out. Same old story. Story of my life. Blend out the creases. Okay. Just keep it going. And you got a show to get to. You just gotta keep it moving. And that was interesting. My phone was ringing, some call from a foreign country. Yeah, no, I don't think I'm gonna pick that up. Okay, so I think we're good with the color placement on this. Let me do the same on the other side and be right back. Okay, so I'm very happy with this blend. Very pigmented, this little SheGlam palette. But I do want to deepen up the outside edge, and it's got a black in it, so we're going to try Black Magic, because with drag, you really need depth. And the best way to get that depth is with black. So I'm just using a small tapered brush just to give myself some black here at the outside edge. It's also a great way when you're starting out drag, if you're not really good at doing a wing liner. This mirror is so dirty. If you're not good at doing a winged liner, you can sort of fake it by putting black on your outside corner. And also sometimes you just don't feel like doing winged liner. One of the things about winged liner is it takes a lot more to get it off the eyes. Sometimes you're just not in the mood for having to deal with removing a lot of makeup. And one way to get around that is by just using shadow instead of winged liner. And of course, even for a look that is not a drag look per se, like a wearable look, you could do a wing with shadow as well. Okay, and I think I'm going to go back over that black with some more of Devil in Blue. But so far, so good. Okay, I'm going to cut the crease and we'll be right back after that. Okay, my crease is cut. I couldn't find the crease brush that's my favorite. It's so confusing. And what's ironic is just today I found this Mehron white stick that I thought I lost. I thought I threw it out, and I even went and bought a new one. And that turned up after weeks of it being MIA. So, of course, you know, what the gods giveth, they must taketh away. So since I found my Mehron white stick, they had to take away my favorite concealer brush. But that's okay. I have many concealer brushes, and you got to make it work. Got a gig to get to. So, crease is cut. I'm going to go in on the edge to soften it up with this shimmer Fright Night. Let's try some of that on that edge. By the way, I used my ColourPop concealer to cut the crease. Let's see what happens with some of Fright Night here. As shimmers go, it's not very shimmery, which, doesn't bother me. I like the color. It's a really nice dark pigmented purple. But if you were hoping for it to be a really shimmery shimmer, well, you're going to be a little disappointed. My concealer is still a little damp over here. I just want to dry it out a little. Okay, so let's now go in with some of this color. Heads Will Roll on the lid. Okay, that really isn't doing much of anything. Let's try the finger. I don't know about that. I don't know. Okay, not crazy about that. Okay. Um okay, I think I'm going to try going into it wet to see if that helps. I'm getting nothing. I mean, I'm sort of having to scrape it up. But if that's what I got to do in order to get it on the eye, well, I guess that's what we're going to do. But I need to sort of get something on the lid. Okay, well, I managed to get some color onto the lid. Um, hmm, hmm, hmm. But am I thrilled with it? No. All right, let me do the same on the other eye before we proceed to the next step. Okay, and I'm back, and I did the same procedure on this eye as I did on this eye. When I happened to go downstairs, and it was in my bathroom, and I was looking in that mirror, and the shimmer is not that bad, but it's kind of like a drugstore shimmer, I guess is the best way to say it. It's not one of those shimmers that it's gonna just be blinding and just so stunning that people are gonna like stop and want to look at your eye makeup. And you know, I've become somewhat jaded about shimmers because I've been using a lot of indie palettes lately, and a lot of the shimmers in those are just next level, and they're just so unbelievably smooth and creamy and shiny and bright. And this is just your sort of standard shimmer. So, but it's you know, I guess it would be okay for an everyday wearable look, but not for drag. So I got to take it next level. I put some glitter primer down over it, and we are going to go in with this this glitter shade called Phantom. I don't know if this is considered eye safe or not. I don't know if I should be using a brush or go in with my finger. Let's just see what happens. As I always say, do what I say, not what I do. I don't know if this is considered eye safe, so I am doing this at my own risk. And you should always be careful when applying anything like a glitter on or near the eye area. So just gonna put that out there. I'll probably end up having a lot of fallout, but that's okay. Okay, that looks pretty. I just have to touch it up and get it into some of the edge areas, and I think we'll be good to go after that. So let me go off camera, continue this on both eyes, and I'll be right back after that. Okay, and I'm back. I put the glitter on both eyes. I did a little bit of liner work. I used my Chaotic Cosmetics split liner. This is a cake liner, and I love both the black and the white, but we used the black today. I especially like a cake liner if I'm going over glitter, because I can get it a little wetter than you would find in like this type of liquid liner, which I sometimes use. This is the I think this is the Essence liner, but the cake liner, especially if you're going over glitter, because it can get raggedy. Especially you don't want to use like a felt tip liner for going over glitter. And lately I've been not liking any of the felt tip liners except my my Chaotic Cosmetics felt tip liner. This one right here. It's the only one that it doesn't splay. It doesn't splay, and it lasts a very long time. And I say this in all my videos. I don't get anything by telling you it's a great liner. She doesn't give me a kickback, at least not yet. No, she would never do that. But it's a great liner, and for me, I try not to use the cake liner near the water line. Really, you shouldn't use any cake liner in the water line, and they're not made for it because they're water based. For me, especially, I've got to keep cake liner away from my water line because my eyes are very watery. So if I get too close, you may not have watery eyes like I do. Maybe you can get closer with cake liner than I can, but I've got to stay far away from the water line if I don't want it to start bleeding. And that would happen to me with any brand. It's just that my eyes are very watery. So we finished the glitter, a little liner, a little white in the waterline, mascara, and that's it. I think the eyes are done except for lashes and contacts. I'm going to complete the rest of the face off camera and come back with the finished look. And we're back. And here it is, the finished look. the finished drag look that we created today with the SheGlam Wretched Romance palette. And all in all, I have to say, I'm happy with the look. What do you think about this look? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Is it just meh? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. All right, so I'm sure you're wondering, what did she do to complete this look that we started with the Wretched Romance palette? Okay, well, of course, there was my normal contouring and highlighting. I actually went into the palette and I used this color Bloodbath for a little bit of blush. I love to use eyeshadow for blush and highlight and things like that. And you just sometimes have to be very careful. It could be very pigmented. Sometimes, you just really need just a little bit, and, just put it, towards the back edge of the cheeks. And I like to blend it up into my contouring. That was a trick my mother taught me, believe it or not. So, who knew my mother was giving me drag tips way back when? On the lips, I used my Stila Amore. I love this color. It's very, it's purpley without being like purple. And, of course, I just ombrade it with a little bit of white liquid lipstick. For my cheek highlight, I went back into the palette and I used this color Hocus Pocus. And it actually works really nice on my complexion for a highlight. But of course, I am the color of raw chicken, and that's why I was able to use it. I'm sure anybody, any deeper complexion than me, it won't work. But I was just fortunate enough that on my tone, my skin tone, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, now my thoughts about this Wretched Romance palette from SheGlam. It's not bad. It's not a bad palette. I found that the mattes were pretty pigmented. They blended pretty nicely. The only thing I would say is the shimmers are just so-so. They're not the greatest shimmers in the world. But as I said, I've become so used to shimmers from indie cosmetic companies that are just so over the top that when I work with a regular shimmer, I'm just not overwhelmed. And I think any of you, if you're using shimmers that you would get from an indie company, especially say one from like JD Glow or Give Me Glow, Divina, Pinky Rose UK, any of those shimmers are just so extraordinary that when you use something that's just relatively normal, it pales in comparison. So, you know, that's what I have to say about the shimmers in this. They're okay. I just wasn't crazy about them. So now, would I recommend this palette? Absolutely, especially if you're doing a fun Halloween look. You don't want to break the bank on a very expensive palette. You could get some really cool looks out of this palette. I have no doubt about that. Now, would I say it's drag worthy? Again, it's a little bit. I'm not 100% positive. I mean, knowing what I know, how to manipulate colors and textures and formulas after so many years of doing it, I was able to get a drag look that I'm happy with, and I am doing a show today, and I don't have any problems going in front of a live audience with this look. So as far as that goes, you can create a drag look with it, especially like the black magic is very good. Black is so important for creating a drag look. But would I go out of my way to reach for it to create a look? Not when I have things in my collection like the Blends Bunny Surge or Blends palette or my Makeup Pharmacy Beauty Rituals palette and things like that. I mean, compared to palettes like that, this pales in comparison. But of course, you know, it's a modestly priced palette. You do get quite a lot of colors in it. I would just say, you know, if you do use the glitter, always be careful. Always be careful with the glitter, kids. Okay, you never want to get any in your eye. It could really seriously injure your eye at the worst, and you know, irritate it at the least. So always be careful with glitter. But it's a decent palette. So is it drag worthy? We'll give it a conditional yeah. Yeah, you can kind of create a drag look with it if you really know what you're doing. And Toni Homeperm approved. Yeah, okay. We'll give it a grudging approval. I'm not doing cartwheels over it, but I had fun with it, and I like the look that I created today. And what could be better than that? I've got a show to do, and I'm sure people will love the look. So it's a win. Now, if you like this video, then please hit the like button down below so YouTube knows that I'm doing a good job. And of course, if you want to see more videos like this from me, then also hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you are alerted every time one of these videos from me comes out. You can also catch my internet variety show, Naughty or Nice, which I do with the horror diva Alexis Flame, right here on YouTube, and I will leave the details for that down below. And of course, there is my weekly podcast, God'll Get You for That, Walter, the review show of the 1970 sitcom Maude, which I do with my good friend Tom Cat. And all the details for that are also down below. Well, kids, that's all I have for you today with the Wretched Romance palette. I had fun with it, and as I always say, you know, makeup, it is for fun. It's to have fun with. If you're not happy with a look, just wash it off and start over again. Not when you have a gig to get to, though, like I do. So I would definitely not have been able to wash everything off and start over again. But fortunately, I didn't have to. I'm happy with the look I created, and I'm going to be heading out to get to today's gig. So, until the next video, bye-bye.